now. Things are gonna get better.
Hey everyone! So my name is Shivy Williams and I am your health, wellness, and fitness accountability coach, and I help you reach your goals by holding you accountable for reaching them. One way I do that is by providing you great tips on how to be successful on your journey. So, as many of you have seen, so today I am going to be real with you guys, and my question of the day is, are you still struggling to get back on track, right, with your healthy eating habits after Christmas? I am struggling. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna pretend like I'm not. I've come here to honestly show you guys what I have been doing and to tell you what I've been doing, because I feel like sometimes you guys need that. Like, you need to know what sometimes those in the fitness industry are honestly struggling with. How do you all, like, how do I or other people in the industry, how do we get back on track? Like, what do? We see you guys exercising all the time. Hey, Sierra, we see you guys exercising all the time. You seem to be eating healthy. Your body's looking great. So how can I get like that? But I am way off track, right? Okay, you guys. So that's what I'm going to discuss today. So I'm going to be asking you a couple questions. I am having a great day so far. It's just cold here. I'm going to be asking you guys a couple questions. So I want you guys to post and reply to the video. That way I can come back and post and give you guys some awesome tips, some more tips that I'm giving now, and some advice. But this bag here has some surprises in it. So hold on to your seat. Don't faint or nothing when you see this. But first, let me start off by saying this before I do these tips. So I have a surprise for you guys at the end of this video. So make sure you watch to the end of the video. I have a very special offer for you. You won't be able to beat it at all. Now, so after Christmas, here's my little story. Some of you may have done this. Some of you may not have. After Christmas, right, December 26th, I always tell people, okay, you enjoy the day. The next day you get back on track, right? It's time to push out that sodium, drink your water, eat your fresh fruits and vegetables, time to eat the protein, healthy carbs, right? I always tell people that. Well, guess what? I quite did not make it this year. I did last year great, not this year so great. So I've been telling people, I said, so you know, on Tuesday morning I woke up and I had a semi-healthy breakfast before I eat, and then I had breakfast again. I had fruit, right? And this is what I've been telling people. I've had fruit. I had fruit for breakfast Tuesday morning. Here's what I ate. I had strawberry cake. I had lemon cake. I also had some peach cobbler. I followed that up with a real apple and a real banana, right? So that was my breakfast. I had fake fruit and I had some real fruit and I had lots of sugar. So, you know, how do you get back on track when you eat cake for breakfast? Who eats cake for breakfast? I did. Okay, so that was one crazy thing that I had done. Another crazy thing, which is in this bag here, maybe some of you have done this. Since I ate the cake, right, now I have added that sugar, and you know, sugar is very addicting. So now I have been wanting sugar ever since Tuesday, ever since Monday. So I decide with my smart self, I'm going to go and I'm going to buy a small container of ice cream. I love ice cream. I'm going to buy a small container because that means I won't eat as much ice cream. Maybe some of you feel that way. You might buy a small. I looked at the price and it was like $4 and some change, right? I wanted some ice cream. So I said, oh, I'm going to do the small one. It's $4. Then I went to go look at the pints and I went to go look at these. I said, I'm not paying $4 for that small thing. So I decided to buy this instead, right? Yeah, this is, so I bought this Breyers ice cream. Just so y'all know, there's ice cream in it. And I've been eating it. So I figured, I don't know how many of you have ever done this. Let me know if you've done this before. I figure, since it said no artificial growth hormones, right? Oh, that's going to be healthier. Really, it's not. Okay. All right. So, I've drank this Arizona tea, unfortunately, and not had a lot of this water. Water is the key, is one of the keys, okay. So, and in the bag is also this bag of M&Ms. Right? So now, how do we get back on track? Right, exactly, Sierra. So how do we get back on track from eating all of that stuff? How do we get back on track from our unhealthy eating, from Christmas, even Thanksgiving? Oh my God, how do I do that? Right, so here is tip number 1. First, don't go buy none of that stuff, right? I did buy it, but it is time to stop eating it. So what can I do? Well, when I get back on track, it's time to start eating healthy, fixing my fruits and vegetables. And when I do that, I don't go in my freezer a lot. So that stuff will sit in the freezer. I go in the freezer about maybe once or twice a week. So at the most, I will see it once or twice a week. And I usually have a free day or a free meal once a week. So if I'm only in my freezer once or twice a week, I only see it then, because then I forget about it. And then for my free day or free meal, then I can have that. That's tip number 1. Put the stuff away, hide it from yourself, and do it that way. Tip number 2. If you still have holiday food left over, it is time to throw it out. I'm just going to say, I didn't bring any leftovers home, but it is time to get rid of the food. Now, if your family is still eating it, you will have to keep it around. But for yourself, it is time for you to honestly stop eating leftovers, right? We all know that all the food that we usually eat for the holiday, the mac and cheese, the cornbread dressing, all of the unhealthy food is not healthy for us. So it is time to honestly stop eating. So what can we do? Sometimes we need to just cut back slowly. We cut back. Okay, so cut back. If you need to incorporate more vegetables, so start slowly doing that, right? Maybe you make sure you're having your vegetables for lunch and for dinner. Make sure you have a healthy carb. If you love sweet potatoes, right? Maybe you had some yams or candy yams or something. Okay, time to make just a sweet potato. Maybe you add a little bit of butter. Okay, a little bit of brown sugar. However you eat it, it is time to get back on track with our eating. What does that also mean? That means it is time to start prepping our food. Now, some people, and I hear a lot of people say, I do not like to eat leftovers. So what do? What you can do is you make one meal, right? And a lot of times I hear people say, well, I can eat the same meal like the next day and that's it. That's fine. You cook too much food, that you prepared your next meal, right? So you prepped your meal for at least another day or for another meal, right? So the next day you would do the same thing. You cook a little bit too much. Now you have 2 days worth of food to get back on track. Tip number 3, do not get on the scale. Do not get on the scale. Do not get on the scale. So we already know that after we've eaten a lot of food that we should not be eating, we tend to get carried away on holidays. We tend to overeat excessively. I knew somebody was going to say that here. So we tend to eat excessively, and then what do we want to do? We want to step on the scale like it's going to be a surprise that we gained weight. I'm not sure if we want to just see how much damage we've done just so we can be mad and disappointed with the number we see on the scale. Somebody tell me, why do you get on the scale after you eat a holiday meal or after you know you've eaten bad, you know you've gained weight? Why do you get on the scale? That's a good question. I have not gotten on the scale because I know I've gained weight. I don't really care if it was 1 pound, 5 pounds, 7 pounds, 10 pounds. I know I've gained weight. So what do? Instead of getting on the scale, right, what you can do is first get back on track. And then I would say after a week or after 5 days of consistently eating your healthy foods and your healthy meals, then get on the scale and see what you look like. Because by then, you may be back down to the weight you were before you started for the break. Or maybe you would only have gained maybe like 1 or 2 pounds instead of 5 to 7 pounds or 8 pounds. So you get back on track, and you then weigh yourself after you get back on track. All right. So I'm actually going to put all this stuff back in the freezer. So the surprise that I actually have for you. So those are my 3 tips. The surprise I actually have for you. Another tip. I have a 30 Days to a Fabulous You workbook that can help you not only get back on track, but to stay on track and also to reach your goals in January. So the workbook is only $10, you guys. It's a $10 workbook. I posted the link to the workbook in this post, so you can go to my website, www.lbxfitness, and then /30 days, the number 2, a fabulous, the letter U workbook, to purchase the workbook for only $10. This is a great guide that is going to help you to reach your goals. If you have any questions, once you download, you read it, you have some questions, please feel free to ask me questions that you may have. I want you to be very successful on your journey. So those are the 3 tips I have for you to get back on track when it comes to your holiday eating. Now, if you guys have any questions, or if you feel like I'm really struggling and I may have tried some of the things you've said and it's just not working, post them or reply to this video and I will answer your questions for you. All right, you guys, have an awesome day, right? Time to get back on track. Make sure you're drinking your water. I have my great, awesome water bottle here. I've started drinking. Drink your water, help to push the sodium out. Get your water down, and eat your fruits, your vegetables, eat your healthy proteins. No fried food, no mac and cheese, none of those other unhealthy things from this point on. All right, you guys, I will see you guys tomorrow if you're doing the challenge with us. Bye.
Keep pushing on.